So of all of the questions we get asked on Actorio, by far the most mystifying is the question of VAT, when it needs to be declared, when not, when do I need a VAT number, what can I do, when can I start selling to other European countries, and what are my obligations? Hi, my name is Ari. I'm co-founder at Actorio, and we've helped generate millions of euros of revenue for our clients, and I would like to share with you some of our experiences regarding VAT declarations in the European Union. So first of all, a disclaimer, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer. Please consult your accountant to make sure that you are in compliance with the rules and regulations of your home country. First of all, to get one very important thing out of the way, if you are starting with online arbitrage, you should be selling to all of the marketplaces from day one. The cost is virtually zero. There is no downside. The only thing that you need to think of is how to spend the extra money that you will be making to sell to other marketplaces. A lot of people starting out think, I'm just going to start out with my local marketplace, and then if it goes okay, there is no need. You can do that, but if you are ambitious, if you want to create your own business, if you want to fire your boss, you should be selling to all of the European marketplaces at virtually no additional cost. First of all, if you're just starting out, don't worry about declaring VAT in any other country apart from your home marketplace. So if you're in Germany, you only need a VAT number in Germany, and you can sell to the rest of the EU without needing to register any other VAT number. This is what we recommend for people starting out. Now, in order to do this, it is important that you only store product in your home country. So make sure that you don't go into the Seller Central settings and you don't enable storing product in any other country, because if you do, you will have VAT obligations there, and Amazon will very quickly knock on your door and ask you for the VAT number in the country where you have generated VAT obligations. So what this means, if I am storing product in France and selling from France, I now need a French VAT number. What you want to do is make your first sales, get your business running, because you do not need a VAT number to sell to all of the other marketplaces. Again, this is very important. There's a lot of confusion. You do not need a VAT number in other marketplaces, and I'll explain in detail exactly how. Great. So you've made your first sale, and what is the next step that you want to do in terms of your VAT journey? So the next thing you want to do is register for One Stop Shop, OSS. This was a new measure that was introduced in 2021, and this greatly simplifies your VAT declarations because it means, as the name implies, that it's a one-stop shop. You can declare all your VAT obligations in your home country. So if you're in Germany, even if you're selling to France and Spain and Italy, you can do all your declarations in Germany, even if you go above the 10,000 euro threshold. What does the 10,000 euro threshold mean to you now that you have registered for OSS? So the only thing it means is that now you need to charge VAT at the rate of the target country. So if you're selling to Germany and to France, you have to charge French VAT, but you will be able to pay your VAT obligation through the one-stop shop system, which is to say in your home country, and you don't have to worry about paying VAT to the French tax authorities. Okay, so what is Pan-EU? So Pan-EU is, first of all, the Amazon lingo for the ability to store and ship your product from any of the countries inside the European Union. Pan-EU basically means that Amazon is taking care of distributing your product throughout the EU to make sure that it's closest to your client, which it has two advantages. First of all, the client is happier because the shipping time is lower, so they're much more likely to buy from you. Amazon is more likely to put you in the buy box because Amazon wants to make the client happy. And also, almost the most important thing is your shipping costs will always be as if you're shipping from the same country to the same country. So if you are not in Pan-EU and you ship, say, from Germany to Spain, you will have to pay shipping costs from Germany to Spain, which are obviously higher, okay? So if you are in Pan-EU, it means that very likely the product will already be locally in Spain, shipped to your customer in Spain, which will make your Spanish customer much happier, and you will pay less to Amazon for these shipping fees. Great. Sounds wonderful. The only thing is that now you do have an obligation to have a VAT number in Spain in order to be able to store in Spain. So the rule is, if you are shipping a product from a foreign country that's not your home country, you now have an obligation to have a VAT number in that country and to declare VAT to that country. Now, in order to be eligible for Pan-EU, you have to have a VAT number in all of the countries before you turn on Pan-EU. You cannot, again, very important, you cannot turn on Pan-EU until you have a confirmed VAT numbers, until you have confirmed VAT numbers to all of the countries throughout the EU before you start. This process takes between 3 to 4 months. You can do it through Amazon. Amazon has a very cost-effective, probably the most cost-effective program in order to do it. The service is not great, to be honest, but it will get you there, and it will enable you to turn on Pan-EU, which will save you a lot. So the cost is a few thousand a year, but if you are in the 10,000, 15,000 volume level, this is cost-effective, which is to say, you will pay it back with the savings that you will make with the shipping costs. So the question is, when it becomes cost effective? Very easily. Go take a look at your current sales, take a look at how much you are spending on shipping, and then just do a back on the envelope calculation on how much these shipping costs are going to be. So go into your most common products, check how much the shipping is going to be from the local country, and then you'll know exactly when you're breaking even. Remember that the process of registering a VAT number in all of the countries, even if you go through Amazon, takes a few months. So you might want to start earlier rather than later. So once you get to the volume of sales that justifies it, you will already have the VAT numbers in order to be compliant with the VAT regulations and not to get into trouble with Amazon for not meeting your VAT obligations in all of the marketplaces. If you have any other questions about VAT, please feel free to contact us. Register for our absolutely no strings attached 14-day free trial and try out Actorio today, and we will help you make your first sale and start and grow your Amazon business.